dance with Mary Jane, one more time to kill the pain. I feel summer creeping in and I'm tired of this town again.
Blessed things that ever happened in this world was when Colorado voted to legalize Mary Jane, our sacred herb, our sacred sacrament, our transformer, our dear sweet love that helps us open and talk to angels and fly with coyotes and so forth, man. You know, this girl is sacred and she's the most healing plant on the face of the earth. And babies, I am her most prominent advocate. Her Pope, the Pope of Pot, you betcha. Mary Jane loves me, babies, and that's just who I be. So anytime we're talking here about anything, you can see it through the veil of Mary Jane, babies, and you can get the heart-centered core of it immediately, babies. Just do that. Little toke here, little toke there. I'm toking one for you right now, babies, right here on the Coyote Medicine Show, only on the Hazy Radio Network, legally, I might add. Oh, and that is so good. This is some of Pop's homegrown, man, from last year. Been sitting in the cure for about 9 months. Oh, it's tasty. Gives you that nice heart-centered buzz that you're looking for, cuz every time you turn around. Yeah. You see, Mary was put here to help us recognize our latent potential so that we could see beyond the three-dimensional realm, so that we could, like, expand in our heart consciousness, in our mind, in our soul, and begin to experience what we know of as spirit, the parallel universe, the multiple dimensions in which all dwell. Now, you heard that guy at the first of the program speaking in gratitude. I know that's a little unusual for me to start that way, but you know, we like to mix it up. You never know what you're going to get here on the Coyote Medicine Show. Speaking in gratitude about how gratitude is the very fuel that gives life form and fashion, comes forward in gratitude always. And graciousness is it expressed then, because the gratitude brings with it a certain graciousness. There was a little point here I was going to make, babies, and it just slipped right by me, so we'll just let it be, you know. But there in your heart, I know that you see and that you be in gratitude always. No matter what life is dishing out to us, babes, we open this heart and we try to deal with every situation in our life from this heart. And from this heart we move, and from this heart we become as we are, because that's what we are. And when I say as we are, I say become that nature of divine. We accept that inside of ourselves as our central core of being, right there along with the universal heart, for they're one and the same. And when we begin to see ourselves in this way, babies, we let go of all that old bullshit, all the melodrama, all the crap. We give it up. But it takes a bit of doing between here and there. It's not always easy. It's not always kind. Your heart may be very open and very tender in its openness because it's not used to it. It's been guarded and protected for eons of time now. It hasn't been allowed out of its little hiding place too much, believe me. We've been really dealt a hard blow here in this life, and our heart consciousness almost evaporated and disappeared until recent times, these last 60, 100 years. Finally, she starts coming back around, but it took forever for this to happen. Believe me, babies, it's been a long, long haul through the darkness, and we've had to live with this shield over our heart. But now this heart is like awakening, and the shield is dissolving away, becoming less and less as this heart expands and grows. It displaces any idea of shielding. It needs no shield. It needs no protection. It has the divine intelligence of truth within it. It knows exactly the dynamic and the parameter it needs to play in any moment, given in time or otherwise, in the dimensional reality's expansion. Whatever it may be, it knows, it sees, and it participates actively as we allow this to come open. But again, your feelings being so real, so unusual inside of you, you become kind of sensitive in the heart, or at least many of us do. And what most people would just roll over and blow away and just be okay with, to us it's like a big tragedy in the heart or a big triumph or something else. I mean, we get tears over the silliest things. You know, the craziest things can move us. The blink of an eye in a little kid can take you back 10,000 years and bring back memories that won't quit for a day. Just one blink of an eye in an innocent little kid that you just happen to be standing by and looking at when he blinked. Things like this occur for you all the time. You live in a heart space that is very, very tender, but very aware, very alive, and very sensitive because of its aliveness. And beginning to feel now, for the first time in forever, you know really. The heart has felt, but not like this before. Now the true feelings are coming forward, you see. And they take a little getting used to, a little integrating, a little time to shake and bake them on in other words, a little rock and roll for your soul, baby. Because you really are coming back to that innocent child at the same time, coming back to that innocent child inside of yourself. That's where these tender feelings come from, is that little child, that little boy, that little girl that you still are inside, that you've never really lost or given up on. And in fact, it's one of your most cherished elements within the presence of your person, is that child. No matter how ill-treated or well-treated it may have been in its time, that child is still sweet and dear to you. I can see him standing there about 1 year old now, man. You know, completely conscious and aware of what's going on around him, but unable to speak or do too much about it. But increasingly invaded by a darkening energy, a heaviness. It's trying to pull us down and bring us out of our heart so that we won't remember, so we'll forget everything and not remember the paradise that we truthfully live in. So it's this little child's heart, under that first assault of darkness, around 1 year old. It varies according to the child, but we all go through it. Part of our dumbing down process each lifetime. It's just habit. We're in it. That's what happens. It's the work of the illusion, but that's the way it works. And babies, there we are. This cherished child, before there was violation, before there was untruthfulness and unpeacefulness and all the rest of it to win with it, the coldness that comes from the heaviness and so forth. There's that innocent child, looking out with loving eyes at a world that is completely fascinating. And it feels inside a hunger to know, to become aware, to become conscious, to be a part of, active part of this life that it sees going on around itself. But what it sees, it doesn't always understand. Because it's innocent. Even though it has memories of many lives before it, I'm sure. It comes to this one and everyone with innocence, with purity, the sheer light of love, able to see in that way. And this 1 year old person we're kept inside of ourselves and we so cherish, because that was when we remembered our innocence the last time in the last way. This is the last time we really remember feeling, because feelings were then taken away. The darkness came to play, and the heaviness came in, and what feelings we developed after that weren't the same as what we had as the innocent child. They weren't rich, they weren't deep the way they had been. The thing that came in as feelings now, sure, powerful enough, but not anywhere near the presence that you could remember. Somewhere in that shadowy way of what you had felt as that little child. So that little child's heart now inside of us is awakened once again. That conception, that feeling, that beginning approach to life when you put the feelings out there and see what they might bring back to you. When you allow yourself to feel this, feel that, when before there was just reservation. Now you let yourself go. Now you let yourself go. What will this feel like? Etc. But it's born again in pure innocent love. The need to explore life, the need to understand life, the need to be life, to grok with it, to be one with it. It's all born of that innocent child. And it's through the energy of that innocent child that we now compel our fully adult and somewhat awakened persons into the form of their new reality. This child grows larger and larger inside until it is our person, our complete and total integrity, and our union with all other life. Because in that conscious awareness of that 1 year old or so, there is the remembrance of the union inside with all of life, still active within you, still able to realize all life around you, still able to know it and love it, and most of all, didn't even think about it, but of course trust it. Trust it because that's what you live, that's what you see, that's what you are. Then you allow yourself to grow and become even more and more. And the richness returns to life. And the flesh quickens, awakens, begins to reform itself, changes. The eyes which can only see, as my gentleman, oh there it is, as my gentleman at the first of the program was explaining, the eyes can only see 1 octave out of about 1 billion of them that are available in visibility. The multiplicity of vision, dreams, multiple dimensions, the ability to walk in all, to be in all. See, that is completely enabled within us as the innocent child returns to its center place of being and becomes the very anchor in this form of consciousness we call life within ourselves. And fulfills us in this dream that we see all dynamics of it and not just 1 little octave. That through feeling and vision and hearing, do we absorb, which are all really the same, do we absorb the reality of the truthful nature of life within ourselves and become the brilliant stars that we are, the stars of creation, able to bring forward all of creation in complete reconstruction in a heartbeat, let alone bring it all forward as we have in this contented orgasmic way to its finest and fullest forms of expression where all deal with one another, live in harmony, and exuberate that harmony into whatever form of being they are. And everything glitters and glows. There is no separation from the light and dark. It lives all within us and is radiant and glowing and brilliant. We don't have stars and suns and moons in the sky any longer. We are present within our own light, our own love, which is that light which recreates all life and makes it perfect for us. Beautiful, beautiful vision, a dream fulfilled within you. As you listen to this humble little coyote sing his mournful song in the midst of the great daylight here, babies, on the Coyote Medicine Show, only on the Hazy Radio Network, and there inside your heart.
Last dance with Mary Jane, one more time to kill the pain.